This is Lego Star Wars set Death Star Final Duel, number 75093. There's 724 pieces. This is from the final battle scene between Luke, Vader, and the Emperor at the end of Return of the Jedi. Pretty cool little set. Comes with 5 minifigures. Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, the Emperor, and 2 Royal Guards. Alright, so this kind of shows you what is in the set and what it comes with. We'll start from the left and go down and around counterclockwise. Right under the 75093, you can see they have a trap door, trap stairs, a force jump. Then we go over to the other side and you have the sliding doors that they're showing. The fact that the 2 arms of the set actually articulate or move, are posable. And then there's the bottomless pit that Vader throws the Emperor in to his demise. And then they show all 5 figures on the top there, and then on the very far right they show the Emperor and Luke and Vader, and then the under the stairs scene, the battle scene, and all that stuff. So let's get to it. Let's open this sucker up and review it. Here is the Royal Imperial Guard. These red imposing figures that I first saw in Return of the Jedi. I always found them very interesting because you don't know much about them. They just kind of stand there and guard the Emperor. Now they're also in the other movies. I know Empire Strikes Back when the Emperor gets off the shuttle on the Death Star. You can see them, but never really much said about them, about what they do. But I think they're really cool. I've always wanted to know more about them. So he's got a little kind of a black staff with a gray thing on there like he does in the movies. A little helmet. And just a black minifigure head, featureless minifigure head. Just for the slits in the eyes. And a cape and some detail on the chest here. Red arms, red hands, everything's red. And the cape is red. The underside is red, and it's red back there. I always thought these were really cool. Really cool little figures, or I should say characters in the movie that you don't see much of. I've always wanted to know more about them. I wish they would use them at some point in the movie. That would be kind of cool.
I think they look cool. I like the eye slit. It looks very fascinating, kind of mysterious.
Well, there's some type of they guard the Emperor, and they're supposed to be like the best of the best of the best stormtroopers, kind of like ace pilots or something that become top gun.
But the only way you know that is looking up backstory stuff.
Yeah,
right?
I mean they don't.
That's cool. That's cool that they have reasons for their different characters and some backstory to it. But I don't remember noticing them.
Well, that's one of the cool things about Star Wars is like almost every character you see in there looks cool enough that they could have probably their own story. It is a little frustrating that, for me at least, I like to know kind of what certain characters are doing there, especially something as imposing as the Royal Imperial Guard, but that's just my take on it. Alright, let's go to the next figure. You want to do Luke, Vader, or the Emperor?
The Emperor, my favorite.
Oh, you want to do the Emperor, your favorite. Okay, wow.
I think it's awesome that he has the lightning stuff coming out of his hand in Lego form. It was very creative and cool that they actually made Lego pieces for that. And his facial expression is quite entertaining.
Yeah, it is. I have to agree there. He has 2 faces though. He can take off his helmet and there's the let out triangle, and then
a little less intense.
Yeah, a little more peaceful Emperor.
I don't know about peaceful.
Like I just had a good meal and I'm okay.
Only slightly pissed off.
Yeah. Yeah, what is his deal? Why is he so angry? Why don't they go to the Emperor's backstory? They could go to the prequels. I'm sure everybody would love that. Yeah, he has a cool figure. He's got a lot of detail on his chest. Cool with I like that they do the cape thing, and the lightning is pretty cool. As you can see, it's like a light blue and a purple. And he holds it in his hands and he just shocks Vader. Not Vader, what am I talking about? Shocks Luke. Help me, Father, help me. Yes, feel the anger. Join the dark side. It is a pretty cool figure. That's your favorite, huh? Of the figures?
Yeah, of this set, I like him a lot because of the lightning hands. Otherwise, I wouldn't care. But I just think that's really cool that they have an actual piece for that.
Okay.
And you can remove it from his hands. I don't know if he showed that, but it comes out of his hand, doesn't it?
Yeah, I can show that.
I thought it was cool that.
Yeah, it just pops in and out.
Piece.
Up here, like that. And you can move it and do whatever. Alright, next piece I would like to talk about is Darth Vader. Yes. The breathing apparatus that scares everybody, I guess. It's a pretty cool figure. Red lightsaber, of course. That's his lightsaber. Cape. What was really cool, and a lot of people have mentioned this, is that the helmet is a two-piece. And it's just very much like when Vader takes off his helmet at the end of Return of the Jedi. You can see his face, and it's
all pale and pasty.
Yeah, very white, pasty, and you know, years of dark side abuse, I guess.
What is that on the back of his head?
Oh, that's a scar.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's what it's supposed to be. One of the funny things, I saw this on a behind the scenes, is when they were making the prequels, they had to kind of look at the Return of the Jedi when they were going to do the Revenge of the Sith, and they were going to have Anakin get burned up, and they wanted to look at how Darth Vader had looked at the end of Return of the Jedi when he took his helmet off. And one of the things they said, and I think it's kind of funny because it's actually on this figure too, the guy who was making the new makeup for Hayden Christensen said that the actor in the original Return of the Jedi, you know, he's supposed to be burned up, but he doesn't look very burned up, and he's got these big black bushy eyebrows. And he's like, you know, those are probably the first things to go if you're going to be stuck in a lava pit. So they actually put those on the figure here. Let me see if I can get him in focus. Come on, get in focus. There we go. You can see that he's got these eyebrows on here too. Anyways, pretty cool. One of my favorites here is Luke. With the green lightsaber, which really stands out especially against black.
It did good with the hair color too. It looks like that.
Yeah,
Luke-ish hair color.
You know, a lot of other people have said that, and I have to agree. He looks much more like Luke does in the movie, and I don't think he does have two faces. He's got two faces. Okay, cool. More of a kind of, I'm so troubled by the dark side, but I want to save my father and not join it. One of the things I think, you know, these nice little touches, like I said, with the eyebrows or the black gloved hand, because it got chopped off.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And I think that looks really cool on there. You know, your standard kind of printing on the minifigure. But it looks pretty cool. Luke has, just like from the movie, one of the cool parts about this set is that Luke comes with there's two pair of handcuffs in the set, and they go with Luke. And this is just like from the movie when Luke kind of gives himself up because he wants to go see his dad and hopefully turn him back to the light side. He's wearing handcuffs, and that's the Emperor takes him off, you know, through the Force. I think that's a pretty cool addition. Again, these come off pretty easily. We show you how easily it is. I struggle with them. And he's got a green lightsaber. I'll just hold him up closer. Keep the focus on him. Pretty cool little figure, I must say.
Why is the lightsaber green instead of blue like most of the good guys' lightsabers?
His first lightsaber was blue. Remember that from The New Hope, the first Star Wars? Mm-hmm. Where he met Obi-Wan.
Yeah. I didn't remember it turning green.
Well, it didn't turn green, it's blue. That was Anakin's original lightsaber that his dad, Darth Vader, built. That got passed on to him. He loses that in Empire Strikes Back. Remember the battle where Vader reveals to Luke? Mm. that he's his father, and after he chops his hand off,
Yeah.
he loses that lightsaber.
Okay.
In Cloud City. That's the blue one. Part of a Jedi's training, I guess, or what marks the completion of their training, at least in the next movie, was that Luke made his own lightsaber, and he made a green one. So that's what he uses in Return of the Jedi.
I didn't remember that.
I personally like the blue better, but for some reason...
That's blue is your favorite color.
Yeah. Luke was feeling the green in the Force, I guess, from Yoda. I don't know. But he's got a light green lightsaber. And that's the big thing in the new movie where Rey gets the blue lightsaber. Mm-hmm. That's the original one from A New Hope.
Okay.
And Empire Strikes Back. And it was Anakin's original lightsaber. Let's see if I can get this up here without manangling it.
Manangling it. Mangling it.
I just made that word up for everybody watching. Alright, so the set comes where you can actually fold it up and compact it, which is what I have it doing right now. But it is very... I mean, this is really... I just watched Return of the Jedi the other day with my kids, and you can see it's pretty cool. They have, those big windows, which actually can fold down if you want them to. From that actual final scene in Return of the Jedi. These doors slide open. It's pretty cool. And these swing out. If I can do it without... They actually hook to the front here. That slides out even bigger, as you can see. Now in the movie you actually come in and the setup is kind of like... They're not exactly like this, they're a little more
angled
like that in the actual movie. And they have these blue, like computer screen things or whatever they had in the movie that look pretty cool. The set does come with some pretty cool little features. Let me see if I can get Luke over here. This is movable, so you can actually put a minifigure here and they can force jump. If you want them to, or if they're like fighting, you know, and he needs to... He actually jumps, wow, higher when there's a little bit of clutch, what they call clutch power there with the legs. Oh, I almost had him fall into the pit. The bottomless pit there. That's a cool feature. Now, on the original set, this is actually pointed the other way, but I didn't like that, so I pointed it this way, which, you know what, I probably should fix it. But the stairs are breakaway. So you can have a figure up there, and
oh, that's awesome.
You didn't know that? So we'll put geriatric Vader up there. Oh, I'm gonna come down. And they can just pop back up there real easily. The Emperor's chair is fully turnable, as you can see. And again, you know, I always say this form with function, and Lego's really good about this. You can put, there was a part in the movie where Luke and Vader are fighting, and Vader throws his lightsaber while Luke is standing on a platform, and the lightsaber cuts something up there and it makes it all fall down. So if you just go, if I can, there we go. So you just knock that piece out and the whole thing collapses. Of course, it's easy to do when you don't mean to do it, and not so easy to do when you do mean to do it. There, and then, you know, I guess Luke's having a little hard time standing up. Ah!
Go for it. It looks like when you went forward, it was better.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah. It's normally pretty easy, except for this time on the video. There's another thing here that's kind of cool. There is a button here, and a lightsaber pops out. Of course, it goes right into the endless pit there. But you can see back here. Let's talk about this. You can pull this piece off, and this is where Luke is hiding, and Vader is kind of talking to him. You can't see him quite so well. Maybe he didn't have night vision on those. Anyways. Luke is so wrought with trouble that he's fallen. This is where Vader realizes that Luke has a sister and says that if he can't convert him to the dark side, he'll go after her. And that's where Luke really kind of flips out on Vader and starts really fighting him hard and cuts his hand off. So I mean, it's really cool. They put all these like little scenes that you can recreate in here with play and stuff. I mean, it's beyond anything I had as a kid. I mean, the stuff that I had as a kid was pretty cool too. But I mean, the fact they put all this stuff in here is just amazing. So this is this next part, and I'll get more to detail on this. I'll get into more detail on this in a second. This is where Vader throws the Emperor into the bottomless pit. And this pit actually is bottomless. There is no bottom to it. So when you pick it up, the whole set, if I don't knock off everything on it, you see that he's down there now. You can see there's an actual pit. And I have to say this is probably one of the coolest sets that there is.
Yeah, I thought that pit thing was really cool. And all those other details are pretty awesome too. But isn't there a sticker that you have to put on the inside of it to make it look like?
Yeah, there are stickers on the
make
inside
it look
there.
Like
because of the lighting, it's a little hard to show, but I think you can see them when I showed that.
Yeah.
Makes it look like the pit from the movie. Of course, I said that I did this. This is easy to fix. Let me show you how easy this fixes. I break it. But like I said, I've said this before in some of my videos. Sometimes I like to customize things my own way. And Lego really allows you to do that. So there's that whole set. It's really, really cool.
Pretty awesome.
I highly recommend it for probably ages 8 and up. I think younger you can supervise, but I mean there are a lot of pieces that can fall off and get lost. That's of course Lego.
It's a very awesome set. All those details, like you've already mentioned, I just think that's awesome that they do that now. Have so much thought and creativity in their design.
Yeah, they actually go and like meticulously try and recreate what's in the movie.
Yeah, like the sliding doors and the falling, platform and breakaway stairs and bottomless pit, all that stuff.
It was really, really cool.
Very cool. And the lightning hands and just all those details.
All right, well this is Brick Ninja and
Brick Ninja.
Well, I call her my 1x5. If you like the video, like I said, like it, leave a comment, subscribe. Leave comments, good, bad, ugly, we don't care, we love them all. And if you want us to make some more animated videos, let us know. All right, signing off.
Bye.